morning, all my crafty friends. Nana Kay here with NanaKayDesigns.com and the Altered Book Nook. I have missed you guys terribly, but I have had a busy life since July, since the introduction of our Summer Blooms design kit. And I have been designing, guys. I promise you, in the background, even though I've not been videoing and not introducing the designs, I have been designing, and I will, in 2025, start bringing a few of my new kits to the surface and let you guys see them. But I wanted to do something different this year. I wanted to take a little bit of break during the holiday season and just kind of study other people's techniques and what other people are doing and what seems to be interesting subjects to my viewers. I have 1,800 viewers, and of course I really need to increase that in order to make a living on YouTube. I do, and I am trying to support 6 grandchildren, so I do appreciate all of you guys that are helping us. Supporting 6 grandchildren on Social Security budget is not easy, but with the Lord's help we keep on. I'm going to follow the Christmas Craft Off 2024. And the title of this series of videos that I am going to do is My Christmas Craft Off Journal for 2024. There are 60 invited participants by Rachel Bell Crafts, who has designed a nostalgic Noel kit that is being used in this collaboration. And those 60 people, there's 2 a day, and each one has an idea of some use of some part of the kit. What I am going to do is I am going to watch every video that I have so far. And I've even watched outside participants like myself. I watched their videos also. I have liked and commented on theirs as well. I hope you will do the same on all the videos that are attached to the hashtag Christmas Craft Off 2024. There's a lot of it, a lot of information to intake, but I promise you there's also a lot of ideas that will give you a good solid foundation if you're new into crafting these journals. It will also, if you're not new, it will give you some ideas that you can put your own twist on, which is exactly what we're going to do here at Nana Kay Designs. Is we're going to take the videos and we're going to add our own twist to the projects that these collaborators are doing. So come join me as I make my journal for 2024, Christmas of 2024. All right, let me just get started by saying these are the 2 signatures out of the kit. I am strictly, all but maybe some very minute things, using just the kit itself to see if I can design just using the kit. Now, in saying that, I did add my own coffee stain papers because the kit did not have any artificially stained or, digital stained papers. And I like a little bit of coffee stain paper in all my journals. So I did use my own coffee stain paper, just so you know. But I'm using all the pockets and the tucks and the tags and the clip art and all the things that Rachel so generously adds to her kits. Her kits are bumping full. She has 4 kits in this collaboration, which is 2 are background, very vintagey, beautiful looking backgrounds. You just can't miss them. I've got them all printed and set aside and ready to use. The only other thing that I am using in the kit that is not Rachel's is my own line, my own journaling pages. These are lined art pages, and if you're familiar with me at all, you know I would like a lot of journal space in my journals. That's why we call them journals, per se, so you can write in them. So I do have a lot of writing spots, and I'm using my own lined paper to do that. So this is the lineup I have. These are my 2 signatures. I'm not going to go over them very rapidly. I'll just flip through real quickly and let you see how I have set up my 2 signatures. You set up your signature however you want to. I think there might be a video or 2 on other people who have set theirs up. So view them and decide how you want your signature set up. But the pages are just absolutely beautiful. They're stunning, and there's just so much you can do with these beautiful pages. So after I go over these, I'm going to set them aside and let you see my second one. Very Christmassy, very nostalgic. I almost call it vintage. Very, very beautiful, much I just love it. The designs, I love the collage type pages that Rachel has included. I like the Celtic that she's included in her kit. There's just a lot of stuff, guys, and this is not even near all the background pages that are available. We'll see quite a few of those in putting different tags all together. All right, now what I am working on, and you'll find in her, Rachel also includes freebies on Fridays. Friday freebies is what she has. And every Friday she will do a little part to the collaboration and add a little bit something extra to the kit. So you got 4 or 5 weeks that you get an extra freebie in the if you go to her Ko-fi site, and you'll find a freebie. So this is one of the tags that was in that. They come on a page like this. They're foldable, and it makes a pocket tag, and that's what it makes, a pocket tag. I've done a little bit of a twist on one of them. I made a pocket tag there, and I slit the top and made a second pocket. So I have 2 pockets in this one. Today, we are going to do a new little twist on that same design. I've gone in and taken the template that she designed. She has a template in the free kit. Looks like this. If you don't know how to take a template and do a mask on it, you can text me and write me, and I will try to step you through it. But basically, if you're on Photoshop, you go in with your magic wand and take the background out, and that will leave you with this. And then you put whatever design you want on top of it in your computer and hit your clipping mask, and then this is what you come out with. Well, not exactly. You come out with this, and then you have to add a stroke around the edge to get this folded design. So this is the design we're going to work with on this video. Now let me show you what I've already done with it so you know what we're doing. These are the tags I created. I have had to do this 4 or 5 times because I have been having trouble with my video equipment. You'll see a couple of videos a day where Bella had the same thing. Everything went wrong, and she had to retape and retape and retape. Guys, it takes a long time to give you all these instructional videos. So I really appreciate if you hit like and subscribe and make a comment. It helps my views. And like I say, I am now starting to do this as a living, trying to make a living for myself and my grandchildren. So I do appreciate all the help. If you like my videos, if you like hearing my stuff and seeing what we do. But here is my twist on the tag. I am going to make a pocket just as you see, the way Bella done it. Was it Bella? No, excuse me. Rachel, I think, did the tag. But the way Rachel done it, she just put another tag inside like that. But I made my tag where it opens up to a journaling spot. Again, if you're familiar with me at all, you know I do a lot of the journaling like this. So that was my journaling tag that goes in it. But my twist to this one was I made it a flip out pocket. Okay, it's still a pocket, but I sliced it at the bottom once I folded it up, and I sliced the bottom so that it opened the way I wanted to, and it can open this way, or you can it opens that way, just simply by turning it over this way and cutting it. It's still going to flip, but it'll flip the opposite direction. So directional, it does either way. But mine opens up, and then you get this beautiful little journaling spot here. I put a tuck on that side with another little journaling spot there, and I decorated my journaling papers. I made a beautiful little closure as such that wraps like this, and I just put my little dangles on it. Okay. And then my wrap comes all the way around. It's glued at this point and this point. You make a really long piece. It wraps around this point and this point for a tuck on the back. Now, this is optional, totally, because you may want to glue this tag first down to a page and hold like this. For me, let's see if I can find where I was going to put it. I know it's on one of these pages. So just bear with me a second. And that's funny because now I can't find it. Oh, there it is. I'm going to put this one into a pocket. So therefore, I've got an extra little book tag on the back of this one. All right. So that's one of the ones I made that the video messed up on again. We had a really bad rattle, and it just was very obnoxious to listen to. Not that there was anything with the video itself. There's just something wrong with my speaker system, and I hope I fixed it anyway. And this one opens the same way. And I have a journaling spot that goes that way, that's decorated. Same thing, same scenario, guys. With a really beautifully decorated tag and a journaling spot on that that's decorated. So these are fun to make, and I hope you will enjoy this video and come along with me and make your own. Now, I've not added my charms on the bottom of this, but I will. All right, that all being said, let's get started on our version of the folded up pocket tag on the second week of the Freebie Fridays. So let's go. I'm not going to sit here and make you watch me cut this out. I'm going to put the video on pause a minute, cut it out, and then we'll get started. To cut out, and I'm getting another copy to get some more clip art or some more pieces that I'm going to need. Okay, so let's start with the very basics, which is folding. We need to fold, and you don't have to use a scoring board. If you got something that you can put a ruler up against, and then just you can also fold that way. I have my equipment, and I'm going to use it, and I make no apologies for it. I bought it to use, and we use it. Okay, so I'm going to go down this line here gently. Make me a fold line. I'm going to fold it. I'm going to leave my board up here for just a minute because I'm going to have to make it one more fold. But I want to look at this line here and make sure that we get it as close to that edge as we can. Get a nice crisp fold. And my fingernails do a lot of folding for me, so you will see me use them quite frequently. Look at it to see if we've got kind of an even keel. We've got just a tiny piece, very, very minute amount hanging there. And we've got a little bit of an off cut right here. We'll just straighten that out. And I don't think I see any more. Okay, next step. I need to decide how deep I want my pocket. So kind of look at my page. You can kind of do it from your page if it's the first time you're doing one. And kind of get it where you think you want it. I'm going to put mine inside of a pocket. So I want it to be able to fit well in a pocket. So just press me a little corner there so I know where my fold line is going to be. And again, I come in here and I put it on there evenly. And then I'm just going to score me just that jump score area. Just going to score me just a small line there. Set my score box pad aside. And I'm going to take and make sure that where I scored it is going to give me a good even amount on both sides there. Okay. All right. So that looks like it's going to do. And now the next step is to make sure everything is going to fold nicely when you fold up, because I printed mine in 67-pound vellum, 67-pound vellum something. Bristol vellum, I think is what I'm using. Yeah, Bristol vellum. I get mine from Office Depot. All right. I'm going to just kind of press to make sure I got a good crisp line there, that there's no ball popping up. I do see a little bit more white there. Now, I am using red on my stamp as a extra side here, and I'm kind of trying to slide a little bit that way. Pull this down some so I get a good fold. So now I've got a good fold. Now, my next step before I glue this is to decide if I want my closure to open this way or if I want it to open this way. I've done two this way. So today I think I'm going to let my closure open this way. So my closure was going to wrap around to here today. All right, so what I'm going to do at that point is open it. Okay, I'm going to put my finger where I want to cut. Open back up my ticket here or my tag. And then I'm going to cut right on that fold line, right on it, up to there. All right, so when I close this, I did it exactly wrong. Oh, well, you know what? I guess we're going to have to go this way because I did it wrong. But anyway, we got a fold. Oh, no, I didn't. I just refolded it wrong. Okay, so now, as you see, it's going to over. So I say, I thought I put my finger on the right one. I did. My brain fart, as people call it. I'm sorry, I had one. But anyway, but as you can see, is if you turn it over and fold it this way, it just depends on which way you fold it, which side it opens on. That really was a good example. All right, so now opening is going to open this way, and we are going to want to decorate this, but we do not want to glue it down. So we're going to open our tag back up, and now we're going to start assembling the tag. All right, I have a glue book here. This is what I put down when I'm gluing stuff so that I don't mess my desk all up. And I am using Bear Art Glue, which is my favorite glue. And I'm using the Yoo-Hoo sticks, which so far I've been very pleased with the Yoo-Hoo sticks. They seem to hold very well. But I am a stickler for making sure that my work doesn't come undone. So I use my stick to get the whole thing glued. And just as an extra precaution, I will come along the edge here and use my glue just so we don't accidentally later on in life, as this glue gets really crisp and dry. I haven't had years of experience with the Yoo-Hoo, so I'm not sure what happens after it's been in a heated area. Just as a precaution, just so you know. Okay, go back down, glue it, and then I press really hard. Good, look out of the way now. Got what I wanted there. Okay, so now that's there. So that leaves this part right here. Now I'm going to decide what I want on the inside of my book. What I want on the inside of my little closure here. What beautiful pattern design do I want? And I think I like the birds. I think that blends very nicely with it. I like that one, but I do like also this very light color here. But it's two patterns too big. Now let's don't make this so drawn out. We need to try to get it done. I like this one. This is what we're going to go with on the inside. It's a little offset, but it is still cute. All right, the way I do that, simple way, put it down like this. Edge it up on this edge. I try not to waste any more than I have to waste of any of my papers, because ink, like everything else right now in the United States, is not cheap. All right, trusty click pencil, and I draw the outline just roughly. Doesn't have to be precise, guys, because you're going to trim and cut. Okay, there's my cut for that. Lay this aside for just a minute. My cutting board is not working all that well. I've got a very dull blade. I need to get a new one. Bear with me. My first cut is going to be offset a little so that I'm just not making a mess. So let's save this piece for something else. I'm going to turn this up here, and I'm going to get my cutter right on that line. Maybe just a little below it. I'm a little safer adding a little extra because I can always cut more off. I can't add it back once it's cut. Save this piece for something else. All right, so there's that cut out. And let's take the trusty scissors and complete the job. And let's hope it turns out the way we planned it. And if it doesn't, it just doesn't. We will manipulate this paper until we can get it exactly like we want it. No, I don't ever let little mistakes ruffle my feathers. Well, I said little mistakes. Big mistakes ruffle my feathers. Little ones do not. All right. That's done. That's opened up. Trusty glue magazine here. Make sure there's nothing sticky. It's sticky on that side, so we'll put it on this side. Give it the biggest volume first of the Yahoo stick, or Yoo-Hoo stick. That's a time saver for me. I used to try to, honestly, for years, I have tried to glue this, then take a paintbrush and smear it out. Oh, this is just a time saver right here. Love it, love it. Same thing again, just to be on the safe side, a little bit of the extra sticky glue. So as you see, I'm not doing a lot. just a little, just for safety's sake. Okay, and then get rid of the blue book again, back in its little cubby hole. And we're going to start by trying to get this where it belongs. Don't want a lot of white showing, so I'm going to manipulate until I can kind of cover all the white. I've got a little bit more down here than I need, so I didn't have to cut that line like I did before on the cutter below that pencil mark. I should have stuck with it. But this is my main one because I want to make sure that I can get a fold without getting a little crease here, and I did. Okay, so that one worked out well. So now we're going to take my smoothing tool and smooth it. What this does is gets air out so that the glue can completely adhere and wield the paper together. Okay, there we are. Now, you see I got a major line across that top. That's not a problem. I'm going to take my scissors and I slightly slant my scissors to the right here, and the reason why is it just kind of comes up underneath what you've already done, and you don't clip your original work or just lay it on top. So I'm just cutting that out. In here and cutting this out and getting all the excess white that I don't want to show on this edge all the way down. I got a little teeny piece here. I got to clip and got to turn my scissors the other way to get on that edge. Not a problem. And I see a tiny bit more right there, just a very minute amount. Sometimes I'm a little bit too particular, but you see, it wasn't much to trim. All right, we're going to smooth one more time. Okay, get in the position you want, and then we're going to make sure our fold is still intact that we originally did. And our base is now complete, guys, with one exception of gluing down the pocket part, and I only need to glue these two sides to get the pocket done. And this we will use a small bead, a thick small bead. Let me re-emphasize, a thick small bead right here, right across there. And then when I close, I am very cautious not to spread my glue into this area. So what I do is I close my closure, this, take my smoothing tool, start to the center, and go out. Wipe it off to make sure nothing got in it. And that should give me a good seal on this edge without taking up any of the space where I will need to set my tag. I will need to trim some of Bella's tags to fit, but this is the way we do it. This is the way Nana Kay designs her tags when she's using them as a pocket. Okay, so now we've got a beautiful wide open space right here. Gotta let it dry, but it's a nice wide open space there, and we're going to go on with the project. Now we got to go ahead and make sure that we didn't glue this, and I did a little bit, looks like. Yeah, okay, got it. It's open. Make sure sometimes the glue will seep out and grab that edge, and I still am seeing a little bit of white there. I don't want to show. Of course, if I was to put my red trim on it, I'm glad I can do it, but it's very small amount. But I'm going to trim it now with the red. I really got to find me some Distress Oxide that's in a reddish color, but I will eventually. Nothing. I've kind of made myself quit buying supplies because I have 2 mobile home units here full of stuff that needs to be used up, and I've made my mind up. We're going to figure out ways to use all of it. Both trailers are 12, one's 12 by 60 and one's 12 by 65. So they are full of craft stuff that I have accumulated over the years. I have bought other crafters out. I've gone to yard sales and bought supplies and things. So I'm overloaded with supplies. One of these days when I finish getting it all organized, which makes me laugh to even say it because I've been working on it for ages, I will carry you guys through my supply room and just give you a visual of stuff I've accumulated in the last 5 years. I have accumulated a lot over the last 5 years. So that's why I say I am not purchasing anything but what's absolutely necessary for me to continue. I'm going to find ways to use our supply. So I will be doing a lot of pure junk journaling soon, I think. All right, so our thing is open like it's supposed to. It's looking good at this point. This is where we are. At this point, I am going to, I'm trying to decide if I want to, oh, yeah, I do want it. I want to make this, if this can get dry enough, I'm going to slide my little 3/4 under it, but I'm not thinking that I can do that. I should have done, okay, guys, I'm going to undo it just for a second. Please forgive me, but I'm going to undo it for a second and get my pocket hole there. I like to have one, and again, that's just me, but that just helps the person who gets this journal or anybody that's looking for a journal knows that there's a pocket there. Sometimes it's not real obvious for some people. Of course, with the tag in there, I guess it would be very obvious. I didn't have to do it, but I did. That's just one of my techniques, and I'm doing it. It should have been done before it glued down. And that's the thing about doing these videos a second, third time. Sometimes you've already walked through that step and you don't realize it. But again, I'm going to just highlight the edge a little to show the variance. Make sure our pocket is holding. That's what I want. Okay, at the top, next step. It doesn't necessarily have to be the next step, but sometime along the way, you're going to have to put your hole in. So this is as good a time as any for me. That way I can get an idea of how high up I want my tag to come, because you do not want the tag to interfere with the top part of your tag. So your secondary tag, and this is your primary tag, and this little tag here is what I'll refer to as the secondary. All right, so next step is to design our closure. All right, so our closure is going to be designed with the same paper here. I think I printed it. Yep, back here. I printed a second piece, and I used 110-pound cardstock on this one. And I only want about an inch strip, and I want it, I hope I didn't put these birds upside down. I'm trying to decide if there's an upright and a right and a wrong way, but I don't see it, so I'm okay, I think. Okay, so I'm going to do my strip this way. Put it in here, and I'm going to get about an inch, maybe an inch and a half. Let's make sure. Oh, that's an inch, but that's going to close up just a little. It doesn't have to be perfect, and a half inch is fine. Go in here to a half inch is fine, but this is where I'm going to put mine. Okay, I'm not sure exactly what amount it is, but I'm going to do my closure there. I didn't go all the way down either. Shame on this. Get on that line. And I thank God for that little metal line right there, because I wouldn't even know where to put it if it weren't for that metal line. Hopefully I got it right. It looks like it's right all the way across. Okay, let's see. All right, save this piece. I'm sure we'll use it. We are going to use it. Matter of fact, I'll go ahead and use it right now and show you what we're going to do next. All right, so this is the closure. I am going to take a piece of paper, this one, and put on the inside if I can find a piece long enough, and I don't have one. Isn't that a shame? Which the back part won't matter. It's just going to be the piece that wraps around that'll need to be seen. So this is still fine. All right, so next step. Let's go ahead and do this. Next step for me, glue book. Glue this in here. Put the other piece on, like so. That corner. All right, come on, be nice. That glue really grabbed me today, okay? Get all the air out, press it so it's nice and tight. Put it down. Then we're going to come in and we're going to cut this piece off. So this is my wraparound. All right, so save that for something else. All right, there's your wraparound. Okay, now I like my wraparound to have some shape. So you go, I have two styles here. You notice I rounded that one, and I clipped this one off like a tag. So it's just a matter of which one you like the best, and I love either one of them, but my rounded one is on the top here, so that's what we're going to use. Well, I'm just going to round this off like so. So now I've got a rounded top here. This is the piece that's going to wrap. All right. Next step to do the wrap and get it where you want it. Okay. I want my wrap to come about, well, let's do it this way. I think about middle way. What you guys think about middle way? No, wait, but you got to remember, you've got to leave one for 2 buttons. So I'm going to bring it here, and each button, the buttons will be between the 2 centers. So that's where my wrap's going to come. I'm going to fold it around like so. And there it is. Okay, I'm going to cut it off because I do not need this little bit extra over here. There is my wrap piece. That's if you're going to make a tuck spot for the back. If you don't want a tuck spot for the back, then your wrap, you can just cut it, a smaller piece, but nothing wrong with it like it is. Next step is to make my buttons, and I like them to match what I have. It doesn't really matter. That's strictly up to you, but I like my buttons to kind of match the piece here. I'm not sure if this is wide enough to cut 2 buttons, so let me just take a look real quick, see if we can get 2 buttons out of this. We can't, so we're not going to be able to use that unless we go with really tiny buttons. I could do that. I don't think I want buttons that small. I did small buttons on the first one, really small, and they worked, so let's go for it. Since we've already got the paper cut, let's just don't waste our paper. You can make your buttons any size you want them. I cut out 4 usually. Then I just also make sure I've got some print on my buttons so I can distinguish them. I usually do 4. You can do more if you really want your buttons thick. I'll show you. I mean, that's really up to you. Go ahead and use this paper up since we've got it cut, and toss it. Want that area there because it's not got the wrap on it. All right. So I'm going to do this. Next, I pick my buttons up, and in order to make a thick paper button, I glue the circle like so. Then I take the next one, and I take my finger and work all the way around, pressing as I go. And now to start with, it's going to slide a little, but as the glue starts taking hold, it's not going to slide. Okay, so there's my first button started. I want to get a pattern on top, so I need to grab one of these, and I'm going to glue it on the top part here. So I want a little bit of a pattern, see a little bit of design. Okay, so there's that. Press it. Make sure it didn't slide on you. Roll it between your fingers. So that's 3 levels for that button. Button done. Okay. Don't be stingy on the glue because you want these buttons to hold together. They're going to be used a lot when string's being wrapped around them. So remember that. This is a very useful tool, and it is going to be used a lot. You are making a button that will be used. Put my pattern piece on top. Make sure it's rounded. Press between 2 fingers. Make sure we didn't come unglued. All right, there's my 2 buttons, guys. That's done for now. Now, next step, I'm going to start my wrap. Now, to get my tuck, I'm just going to glue right where, just a little ways inside of where it's going to wrap around, and this outside edge, decide where I want it to wrap around at on the front by doing this, pulling it and getting it where you want it. See how quick I got it on the back? So you got to keep looking because they slide easily. Okay, so now I'm rubbing the excess glue off so that I don't get dirty spot. If you don't, you will get a dirty spot, guys. So I've got excess glue marked off. I've got my flat ready, and it's already going around. All right, next step. I'm going to get rid of that white area by inking the edge of my paper button. Inking the edge of my paper button on the second one also. Now the size of these are really strictly up to you guys. Whatever you want to work with. It also depends on how large your brads are too. I will tell you that that does make a difference. If they're too large, you won't have nothing but a brad there. All right, I use, to punch my holes for my brads, I use it's a jewelry file. I do a lot of beading still with so it's a beading file here where you go in, but there's a little rough texture. I try to put my dot like this, and I try with my eyes to find the center. I'm not always the greatest at it, but I do try to find the center on the first one, and then I just kind of work it back and forth so I get a decent size hole that I think my brad legs will go through. And I look at it, and it looks like it's pretty much in the center. So then I put my other one behind it, like so. I punch again just to get the hole started. I pull this one back off, find my hole in this one, and make sure I'm in the center. And it looks a little off to me. I'm going to repunch this one myself because for some reason that looked a little off. And I'm going to twist and get a hole. That's done. Now I got to reach over here and find what color brad we're going to use. All right. Well, let's stick with Christmas colors. We got green and red and white. And I don't think I have any white in my tiny brads here. I have an off-color green. Let's see if it's going to look horrible with this book. No, I like it. So we're going to go with that green since I've used red on everything else. I've used red and pink so far. I'm going with my little olive color brad. I'm going ahead and put my brad. Oh, before we put the brads inside, you're going to have to do this too. You're going to need to get your button on your strap. And you're going to need to get a hole in it. Put your hole. See my hole? So, because your brad's got to go through that. Twist it a little. Get your hole. Then after you've got that one on, you kind of need to see where you want to put this one. You want your closure to wrap. I always wrap mine kind of in a crazy 8. Punch a little tiny hole. You can feel it when it goes through. I see it there. I want to open it up and make sure it's coming through. My brad's going to come through right here. So I'm going to enlarge the hole a little. There we go. All right, simple. Now we're going to put it all together, or this part together. Brad closure. You're going to have to pinch it together, and these are not always that easy to work with. And I really do have another jewelry clip, like a wire plier I could use. But for today, I'm going to try it with my fingernails so that I don't have to have all these extra tools. Push it down, push it through. Okay, don't open it yet. You still got one more hole to go through. We've got to get it through the cover now, or the strap. And if it's easier for you to do it all at once, put it right on top of the strap and do it at the same time. That's also a possibility. It's probably very logical. Okay, now I've got it. Now we want to open the legs or the wings, whichever term you use. I call them legs. Some people call them wings. But we're going to open the wings and press down in the very center of the wing to make sure that the brad is on tight. Okay, you still want to be able to wrap string around, so do run your tool underneath to give you a little bit of space, and there you go. There's your first part of your closure. All right, now let's go again. This one's kind of open, so I'm going to have to really pinch it. Pinch it there. Open the book and pinch it through this one. or open the tag flap, whatever term you wish to use. Push that one through, open the wings again, legs, wings, whatever you call it. Do the same thing. Again, make sure you've got space for your string to wrap around. Don't put it so tight that you can't get your string wrapped. All right, guys, our closure, other than getting our string, is done. I'm going to come back now, and I am going to ink a little around to get rid of my white space. I don't love white space. Can't help it. And being a graphic artist with a newspaper is funny because in advertising, you need white space to get your visual caught. But I don't love a lot of white space in my artwork. All right, there we go. So now we've got our closure pretty much done. So what we've got left now is to do our decorating using the beautiful clip art designed by Rachel Bella. And I'm going with the smaller pieces here. And like I say, I am going to use what she's got just simply because I'm trying to use her specific tag and art for this whole process. Okay, I kind of like that truck, but I really would much rather it come over here, and it will slide up. Okay, it slides up under that button, so that's not a problem. So let's just lay that there and see how we like that. And let me come, give me a, man, let me get a swallow of my juice. Okay, she's got a whole bunch of these and another freebie kit. I'm not sure, I think it was week 3, 2 or 3, I'm not sure. And so it's got a lot of words, like in a basic typeset. She's got a lot of these small pieces here. It's got words on them that you can use. Like I like this one. It's simple. It says Christmas Carol. Truck could be kids going Christmas caroling. That would be a good one to go there maybe. Let's just leave it for a second and see. And, well, I don't want by the fire. Let's see. Look at some of the words and see if we can find something that just kind of catches our eye. Naughty but nice is kind of cute. Naughty but nice. Mistletoe kisses is kind of cute. Season's greetings. Why not? Let's see. Oh, I don't want it there. I don't want to cover up the word carol, so we would have to bring this over a little more. Season's greetings. No, no, no. Let's see if we can get with a one word. Because it's just, maybe I don't want it. Maybe we'll change that one. See if we can get something with just a picture. Oh, I know. Maybe it's a picture. Something. Let's see. Santa Claus. That one. Winter Wonderland. Guys, I kind of like that. Okay, so this is what I've done. I've done the layout here, so I'm just going to start decorating the tag itself. And bear with me as I put stuff up, because if I don't, guys, my desk will be so messy you won't be able to see a thing. I don't have a lot of space. All right, so first steps first. Let's ink a little bit on the edges. You don't want the snowman to ink because he's supposed to be white. He's going to go right in there. Definitely want to ink Winter Wonderland. I love this kit. I really do love this kit. All right, that's going to go there. And our truck doesn't need a lot of inking, but we'll do a little. All right, let's start gluing down. Not going to make any tuck spots out of this clip art, nothing. We're just actually going to glue this down to the front. Now, show you something else. If I have the piece here that I need, I hope that I do. I hope that I do have something. I want a piece of cardboard, not, just regular old discarded cardboard, and I should have, oh, there's a piece right there. Old discarded cardboard. This is an old piece of a cereal box or something that I had. No, this was the backing of one of my 12 and 12 pads. I'm going to try to dimensionalize it a little bit like this by adding a piece like this. Yeah. And I'm going to dimensionalize the art some. I did. Now this also I saw on one of the videos in one of the from one of the collaborators, guys. So this is where I got the idea. But that kind of lifts it up a little bit. And I like that. It's lifted up a little. I do want the nose to stay down so that it doesn't snag, but it gives it just a little bit of a dimensional flare there. Same thing with my little snowman. Let's raise him up. Okay. Raise him up. Make sure you hide the pieces. You don't want them to be seen. Okay, so I raised him up a little. Now we're just going to put the glue right here and here and see if we can keep him up some and a little bit out of the truck. There you go. And then the Winter Wonderland is going to go right up there. And I'm definitely going to want to raise that one. And I'm going to raise it by 2, I think. Okay. So I told you there's a lot of good tips you get watching those videos. Be sure. It's hashtag Christmas Craft Off 2024. If you really want to learn, this is a good time of the year to do it. Excuse me, let me check on that. Thank you. Hours a day, 7 days a week. So I have to apologize when my phone rings. I absolutely have to answer it. But we'll go on. You know, you guys have real life too that you have to go through. All right, so we're on the tag and we're getting ready to fix it. And I almost started working without turning the video back on. I'm thinking, Lord, I do not want to do this video a 3rd time. But anyway, now, guys, the front is done. I'm going to figure out what I want to do for the zigzag. And we're in 40 minutes, so I don't want to go much over an hour. So maybe in 15 minutes, I can at least get the primary done. I'm going to use this really, let me see, I want the reddy red. I'm going to use the really reddy red here. I'm going to just cut me off a piece of string. I usually do about 15 inches. It's always too much, but it's okay for showing purposes. And I always leave a dangle on this. I'm going to wrap it around like so. You see that I wrapped it around and brought it back to, really, let's do it this way, because I want my dangle to hang here. Wrap it and bring it together right here, and that's where you're going to tie your first piece with for your dangle. Okay. Only one knot, guys. I do not do a knot. I just only do one tie, and reason why I don't want to take up a lot of space. So what I do is I slip my glue under there where I tied it, and I glue it like that. And usually that secures it enough that you don't have to worry about this piece coming untied at any point. Just a little glue. Okay, so now there's my dangle for my something that I'm using that is not well. Oh, here they are. Goodness, I'm like, where much? I'm gonna put a charm of some sort there. Probably a Santa Claus, maybe, and oh, let's see. I got a moon and a Christmas tree, maybe. Let's do that's kind of big. I want to stay a little small. I don't want great big ones. I like the mitten, but I've got mittens on them, I think. So I'm going to do Santa Claus and a stocking, I believe, guys. Is that okay? I hope y'all like those too. Oh, I do have a snowman. No, that's too much white. Let's go with what we got. I always find out that usually what I choose first is what I end up with anyway. So, all right. So that's my charms that we're going to use. Whoops, got one left over. I got the charms from Temu. I'm not going to lie to you. Probably 2 years ago, made in China. So, yeah, I used to use Temu a lot. I'm not using them as much as I was because, unfortunately, they bombard you to death once you ever buy from them with advertising, and I get sick of it, so I quit using them. All right, so now my tie, I usually do a crazy 8 like so, like this and like this. That gives me a crazy 8. I come back around. Oh, wait a minute. You see how it's crossed over? I'll make sure it goes underneath when you're doing this final step so that you're going to get a good tie. I'm back around here, back around, and then I'm going to do my, all right, my thread is splitting. I may have to wax my thread. Go around, and I'm going to let my dangle hang right on that side, or either you can come back around on this side across the top and make a dangle. It's up to you. But you cut it at that whatever length at that point. All right, so let's get these on. Get these on. All right. How do I attach them? I just simply tie them on. Not a big deal. Okay, I put a speed of glue here. I see which way the thread is twisting to make the thread stay together, and I twist it with the glue at the end to hold it together. I thread it through my charm. I bring up the charm and make me a tie, and I do a knot here sometimes, and sometimes I don't. It really depends on how thick of twine I use and how thick my buttons are. And when I say thickness, I mean what the diameter around they are. And since I've got the tiny ones, I don't want to make a big bulky tie here. Okay, if that makes sense to you. I hope it does. As you can. Now my fingers don't want to do the tying, but it's got to do the tying, so it's got to have it. So I'm going to have to stick my finger in to get that one to wrap. All right, then I want to pull it down as far as I can with just a little hangover left. Okay, so that's going to wrap there, and there's your hangover. All right, now you got this piece here, and you're saying, what do you do with it? What I do with it at this point is, I do cut it a little bit smaller than that. I didn't mean to leave it that long. Okay, I glue it again. Glue it again, guys. And again, I go in and I twist like so to make it stick together right there. This is if it's one string, and I'll do it tight. I do it tight. So there it is. So that's there. Hopefully when that dries, the glue will keep that as one piece instead of the two pieces you saw. Same thing again. We're going to see how it's raveling out. We're going to put some glue on it. We're going to twist this according to the way the thread should spin into a tighter bow. Okay, there it goes. Got a good point. We're going to put our Santee charm in. Same thing again. Make a knot. And I've only done one, so that I don't have a lot of bulk. So this word gluing is imperative here. Okay, there's my tie. Again, you need to glue there and there to make sure the knot's not going to come out. Just let it dry. All right, then we're going to go back up the twine here with a speed of glue. And we're going to twist again to make the two pieces all one string if possible. This is something that you will get used to doing as time goes on. It may not come as too easy right to start with, but you'll get the hang of it. All right, so now there are my dangles on my book, or my pocket folio. That's what this is. So we got a pocket, and it looks like it's come undone. Oh, wow, that's just not entertaining at all. I should have probably put a clip on it because I was working with it so much. But that's the pocket for the front. The dangle opens up like so. Opens up. There's that. All right, let's go with the next step is figuring out what tag we're going to use. I'm not going to be picky, and therefore, since I've already done a tag, I'm just going to grab one and show you one. Okay, I took one of Rachel's tags. I did narrow it down so that it would fit in my pocket, like so. I actually opened it up and done my flip out. Follow some of my other videos if you want to know how to do these. I will attach. But I do it, or you can just make like I did on the other one. I don't even think the other one is a flip. Yeah, it was. It was a flip out also. But what I do, you know what, I'm sitting here telling you, maybe I just need to show you real quick. Let me look at my time. We're at 54 minutes. I will go ahead and do a tag real quickly. If I can find one that's small enough, or one that I like. And that's the other thing is I'm not sure I got a tag that's large enough to go in this pocket. I may have to design one. That's not long enough. Which one did we use? We must have used this style. And all these are too dark for me, except this one. This one looks like Well, she's cute, but you can't decorate it that much with all her on it. You look at one more. Candy jar, Christmas tree. Ah, that one's okay. Right there. Okay, I'm going to use that tag right there. Yeah, that was the size I used, believe it or not. I know it seems like it's a little large, but it's still the one I use, I think. Okay. I want them to be about the same size. Okay. So I am going to go ahead and mark this one for the size I need it. Like this. And then I'm going to center it. And I do need it this narrow. So I'm going to have to cut and trim this tag to that point. All right, put you back along. Sure nothing gets lost. All right. Cutting board real quickly. Let's show you how to do the journaling spots inside. Okay, cut that down like this. Center and cut this down like this. And then get this one centered and cut this down like this. Get this down like this. Alright, so I've cut my tag down. We got to measure it. Make sure that it's even. Looks like I cut it a little crooked, guys, so I'm going to have to cut it one more time just to be sure. No, it was my drawing that was crooked. Okay. Now, let's make sure it's going to slide in our pocket. Now, this is how I open a pocket up without breaking the seams on the side. Make sure there are things going to go in. And we want it to be below this, like this. Okay, so that's perfect. The tag's perfect. Now, just real quickly, you can figure out how to do your own decorating in the front by taking the clip off. So we may not get to that point before we cut this video off. But we're going to show you how I use my papers to make a fold. I think that's important because I have done it many times, but just in case you're not been around, here we go. All right, this is double-sided paper, and if you're going to do a flip out, it's going to have to be that you print your lines on double-sided paper. I'm going to take my glue book, and I'm going to go ahead and glue this first piece really heavy because we want the whole thing to lay down really tight. The first part has got to lay down really tight so that we get a good solid glue here, and it also starts stiffening up the tag. I did use a 65-pound Bristol vellum on this, so it's not as thick as the 110. I line it up in this corner, guys, right here, okay, and I press down, okay. Next step is I'm going to cut off the excess so that I have something to work with, and everything, all the bulk's not in my way. I'll make sure that it's not above that line right there. If it is, we will come back again and cut it again, but we're going to cut this bulk right here off. This is not tall enough, so I have to make this in 2 cuts. You know what? I'm going to cut it right down that line. So sometimes it's almost faster for me to cut with this line right here. Okay, so I'm cutting right on that fold line, hopefully. I say I am. I missed it. Oh, usually I don't cut that crooked. Okay, slow down. Cut it even. And you can trim it up once you get it folded. Okay, so that's your first cut. Always save your scraps. You can use them. Trust me. This will make the other 2 journaling spots. All right, now I'm going to fold this one over again, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to pull this for this first fold. It's as tight as I can get it without it being exposed on the other side. So right along that seam, if it's all possible. Okay, so that was the first fold. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to do this first. I'm going to kind of give me a little fold right here. Just take your finger and kind of push that. That gives you an idea you want to fold your next fold. And then I come in with the paper and I do just a hair, not much, beyond where the actual piece folded up. so that this piece will close without causing a ripple or a grip. Now you can continue folding this if you want. That's up to you. I'm going to fold it one more time like this. Okay. That way I get a tri-fold here. But the number of folds is up to you. Always with each fold a little bit narrower so that you got, and that's the way you test it. You make sure you're lined up evenly and you fold it. Okay, now we're going to cut this piece off. So you end up with 3 folds with this extra fold. It's up to you if you want to keep it. It's up to you if you want to just cut a piece of it out and make a pocket. There's a lot of designs. You would have to go into some of my other videos to see all the different ways we fold these to make them like they are. Okay. All right. So now here's my fold like this and like this. Okay. This is the top part of my thing. I need to clip off the edges for the top, and I think I want to make it a little bigger there. I have a corner punch with a large punch on it. I'm going to go in and make my tag, and it's wet, so it's gonna give me a little fit there. I want my tag to be a little more distinct at the top, so I put it in and cut it. So there's that, and the bottom one didn't cut, so let's try again, guys. Sometimes that happens. Alright, now, so there's my tag. Alright, this opens like this. This tag is opening in a different way, but it's the way it's going to open, okay? Now, next step, again, is you're going to actually put a hole in the top of your card here so that you can put a ribbon in it. So I'm going to eyeball it. I eyeball mine. You can measure to get your distinct one. I'm going to eyeball it. Pop it there. Then you're saying, okay, what do I do with the excess? Well, what I do is just simple. So that this will still open, I measure how far down this comes. And I cut my paper right on that line. I cut it off up to that point. Okay, so that it opens still without problem. Now you can let it open this way, guys. You know, however you want to fold it is up to you. So now we have our journaling spot, or inside of our tag that slides in there. It's just a matter now of going in and do your decorating. You decorate your pages back here and all that. So that's that one. I'm going to decorate. You're going to put your ribbons there and there. Open this up. Same scenario. You've got a piece of paper here that's this way. And if you want it to open, you just go in and fold it. I don't want mine to go 3 or 4 ways, so I'm just going to fold it one time. I'm going to come in and I'm going to cut this edge off. I do make sure that the lines meet. When I'm doing this, that does make you have a much cleaner edge here. So make sure your lines are meeting. You'll understand once you ever start doing these. And I do have in my Etsy shop, I think I do have these line pages. If you can't find them, let me know. My site, nanokdesigns.com, may have them on there. If not, like I say, text me for this video, and I'll be glad to get you a link to get to my lined journal papers if you're interested in them. I want this to open this way. So, again, trusty old glue book here. My beautiful stick glue, which has rolled away. Isn't that wonderful? There it is. So I told y'all about how messy I get when I get pressed for time and start slinging stuff. Makes a mess. But we're going to glue it down with this for now. Glue book out of the way. Again, you can, like I say, you can either get it open this way or you can let it open this way. I'm going to let mine open that way on this one. I'm going to try to center it right here a little. Okay, put it down, put it down. Okay, so when I close it, you don't see it anywhere. what you see at the top, we're going to come back in and we're going to do this very little thing again. To scissors slightly slanted so that you're kind of cutting underneath the design without cutting the design. Okay, so now we have our first turning spot down. Go in and decorate that like you want it. And on this side, we're going to do a tuck. And since we got a cute little snowman on the front, I'm going to use this one as a tuck here. See how easy that was, just to the side. Or you can go, if you want to stick with something simple, stick with these little pieces here. That's up to you. I love these. They're cute. Or I got a nativity. Just a little girl. I mean, she's just got a snow globe is a cute one. I kind of like that. But anyway, this is what I've chose, so we're going to go with it as our tuck spot. Doesn't have to be a big tuck spot because it's a light piece of paper. When you're doing a tuck spot, you only want to glue the very bottom. You all know that from Zoe, I'm sure. I'll bring mine as far down as I can because I don't want my tuck paper to stick out. This one is already ready to go. So I'm just going to roll it over like this, line it up, fold it, measure it. I can cut it off right about this line here, right here. Tuck it in. Let's make sure it's still sticking above. So let's make it a little bit smaller. Now remember, you can always cut off, but you can add it back. There we go. So there's my tuck spot there. Again, come in with the clip art and little pieces. Just use some of the smaller pieces like this. I get out the bag so the people can see. And you can just start decorating your drawing spots with these. So the smaller ones. Or you can actually reprint a lot of these clip arts that she's got smaller. That's I think it's allowed to be done. Now me, I kind of like a little extra finished look for myself. I will come in and cut my corners of my little tabs like this, my bottom piece like this. Same thing. This one, if I want, I will come in and cut my corners rounded, which is what a look I like. So guys, there is our spot. Come in, decorate it like you want it. Put your ribbons here and here, like you see down on this one. That's our finish on that one. And our finished on this one. These were our two that we did. Both of these open this way. This one opens in the opposite direction. And you now have a beautiful flip pocket tag. I just love it, guys. Okay. Our first one goes under. Second goes under and over. Under and over a second time. You can only do it one time if you want. Depends on how long you cut your string. And then there we go. All right. So this is Nana Kay saying, I hope you had a good time, and I hope you like my version of Bella's Rach and Bella Crafts folded tag pocket, and that's Nana Kay's version. You have a great day and come back to see me very soon. We will start on a new project in a little while this afternoon, and I hope to have that video up soon, and I sure hope that the sound has been corrected in my video. 4 times is a charm on this one. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.